Welcome back to Navigating Chronic Illness with Heart and Hope. I'm Valerie Alawiye, and I'm so grateful that you've joined us today. As this year draws to a close, many people are taking stock, looking back over the past 12 months and asking, what did I accomplish? What did I learn? What do I want to do next year? But for those of us living with chronic illness, reflection is not always that simple. Our years are not measured only by milestones or achievements. They're marked at times by symptoms, recoveries, flares, and adaptations. We measure progress not just by what we did, but what we have endured and how we have cared for ourselves and how we kept going even when we wanted to stop. The end of the year can bring mixed emotions. Maybe you're proud of how far you've come. Maybe you're exhausted, discouraged, or quietly grieving what this year took from you. Maybe you feel all of those things at once. If this is you, I want to say this clearly. You are not doing this wrong. Living with chronic illness means holding more than one truth at a time. You can grieve and still be grateful. You can feel tired and still be strong. You can have hard days and still be living a meaningful life. Today, we're going to pause together and reflect, not through the lens of productivity or comparison, but through the lens of truth, grace, and quiet strength. Let's start where many of us try not to linger: grief. If you live with chronic illness, grief is not something that happens once and then passes. It revisits you again and again, sometimes in obvious ways and sometimes quietly in the background. It appears in the canceled plans, in the missed milestones, and the energy that runs out just as the day begins. You may grieve the version of yourself who could move through a day without planning every detail. You may grieve the spontaneity you once had or the confidence you felt in your own body. And this time of year can magnify that grief. The world tells you to celebrate, to push harder, to do more, to make resolutions and attend gatherings. But your body may be telling you something entirely different: to rest, to pull back, and to recover. That conflict, the world's pace versus your body's needs, can be deeply painful. It can make you feel like you're living on the outside of life, watching everyone else keep moving while you measure your days in careful increments. If that is a part of your story, I want you to take a deep breath and know that your grief is not failure. It's an expression of love for your body, for your life, and for the parts of yourself you miss. Grief is not a sign that you've given up. It's proof that you're still connected to what matters most. Every year leaves an imprint, and sometimes those marks are tender. Perhaps this year brought medical setbacks, financial strain, or shifts in relationships. Perhaps you found yourself having to explain your illness yet again to people who meant well but just didn't understand. You may have experienced invisible losses too, opportunities you quietly declined because you did not have the strength, moments when you smiled through pain, and days you spent recovering when no one else noticed. These are not small things. They add up. They shape how you see yourself and the world around you. The truth is that living with chronic illness asks something of you every day. It asks for patience, for courage, and for a level of perseverance most people never see. And even when you do it imperfectly, you are still doing it. If no one has told you this recently, let me say this to you now. The way you have carried yourself through this year deserves acknowledgement. Even if you don't feel strong, your persistence is strength. Now I want to shift your thoughts gently towards something else. The small, quiet victories that are easy to overlook. Maybe you learned to say no without apology. Maybe you started pacing your activities in a way that protected your energy. Maybe you sought therapy, joined a support group, or learned to communicate your needs clearly. Perhaps your victory was simply learning to rest without guilt. These moments may not make headlines, but they are acts of healing. Each one is a seed of resilience that you planted and nurtured over time. So take a moment and think, what is one thing I'm proud of from this year? Something that others may not notice, but I know took courage. Whatever comes to mind, let it count. Your growth doesn't need to be big to be real. Adaptation is one of the most powerful and underappreciated expressions of human resilience. When illness becomes part of your daily life, you begin to live differently, not because you gave up, but because you learned how to survive inside new limits. You find ways to fold meaning into smaller spaces. You learn how to make appointments fit around your energy windows, how to find joy in manageable doses, and how to redefine productivity altogether. I know that sometimes adaptation can feel like compromise, as if adjusting means accepting defeat. But adaptation is not surrender, it's wisdom. It's your body and your spirit working together. We can still do life, just differently now. That is resilience. That is grace in action. Even in hard years, there are moments that catch us by surprise, moments of laughter, connection, or unexpected beauty. Maybe it was a quiet morning with your favorite tea, or the sound of rain outside your window. Maybe it was a loved one's understanding smile when words failed you. These joys are not trivial. They are reminders that life, even in limitation, still holds light. Try to remember one of those moments from this year, a time when you felt peaceful, supported, or simply okay, and breathe into it for a second. That memory is part of your healing too. Growth is not only about getting better, it's also about becoming more grounded, more compassionate, and more honest with yourself. Maybe this year taught you patience in a way you never wanted to learn. Maybe it deepened your empathy for others. And maybe it showed you how to let go of perfectionism and embrace good enough. This too is growth, the kind that doesn't depend on visible improvement, but on inner transformation. And while others may measure success by productivity, you can measure it by peace. If you would like to capture this year's lessons in a tangible way, try this simple practice. Take a piece of paper and divide it into 3 sections. Label them grief, gratefulness, and growth. Under grief, list what you're releasing, whether it's expectations, frustrations, or disappointments. Under gratefulness, write what or who helped you endure. And under growth, note what you discovered about yourself through it all. When you finish, read your words slowly. See the complexity of your own strength that's written there. This is not about erasing pain or forcing productivity. It's about honoring your full, truthful experience. I have also created a free template for the year-end reflection exercise. Please download at https:// coaching for chronic illness.kit.com / year end reflection exercise. When you finish your reflection, consider booking a coaching session to turn your insights into an action plan to support you through the upcoming year. Resilience is often misunderstood. It's not the ability to stay strong all the time. It's willingness to keep showing up, even when you feel tired, even when you feel weak. You have shown resilience this year in every small choice to keep moving forward, in every appointment attended, in every rest taken, in every decision to care for yourself, even when no one else saw it. This is what makes your story remarkable. As you close out this year, I hope you give yourself permission to rest from the pressure to finish strong. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply finish, gently, honestly, and with gratitude for the fact that you are still here. This year may have brought pain, uncertainty, and loss, but it also brought growth, grace, and perseverance. You made it through days that once felt impossible. That alone is something to celebrate. So as you step into the final days of this year, I invite you to whisper this truth to yourself. I have done enough. I am enough, and I'm still becoming. Thank you for walking this journey with me through another year of navigating chronic illness with heart and hope. Make you carry forward gentleness, courage, and the deep knowing that your resilience is worth honoring. Thank you. Want to learn more? Subscribe to my newsletter for ongoing reflections, free tools, and notification of new episodes of Navigating Chronic Illness with Heart and Hope with Valerie Alawier, my video series on grief, illness, and gentle healing. Or visit us on our website at coachingforchronicillness.com to explore options to receive more support.